Welcome to West Ridge High School. It is senior night here on the Ridge, and they have an important region game as they welcome the Morristown East Hurricanes for a region matchup with a lot of playoff positioning on the line. He's Ron Marvel. I'm Chris Mangrum. We thank you for tuning in to Gridiron Game Day on BTES Power 7 as always. Thanks to those of you who are watching on YouTube at BTES Videos. Be sure to subscribe there if you're watching there already. And we'd also like to welcome those of you who are tuned in on Channel 7 and 207 or on your internet stream for BTES customers. As always, a pleasure for us on Friday night to bring you another edition of Friday Night Football. And Ron, tonight we've got two teams in Region 1 6A, and this game is going to go a long way in determining the playoff picture. West Ridge with a win pretty much in at this point. Morristown East, they need to win to keep their hopes alive.
Well, you know, when we had these conversations at the beginning of the year, we knew 5-team format right here. Somebody was going to be on the outside looking in. Very much for the Wolves last year, getting beat by William Blount, being knocked out of the playoffs, that left a sour taste in their mouth. So they've been working back to this position where they can get into the playoffs. And that is what is up for stakes tonight. Now, I will tell you, the Wolves are dealing with some injuries right now. Their quarterback, Hilton, has got a high ankle sprain. We always call it that dreaded high ankle sprain because it's hard to heal. We did see him warming up, so my expectation is that he plays tonight. We do expect some packages as well for Mab tonight, almost like a Wildcat, if you will. I'll also share with you as well that Nathan Arnold is out. We're not sure at this point that we'll see him the rest of the season, which I think, and you know how I feel about that kid, he brings that physicality that you've got to have on defense. So hopefully, maybe towards the playoffs, they can get him back. Now, for this East team, we knew already it was going to be a transition year, right? One restarter coming back on offense, 4 starters on defense. I've got a list, and I wrote it down, of players that are injured for them right now. Christian Holt, Chris Emery, Brett Smith. They're one starter from last year. Tyleek Phillips, secondary. Jordan Collins, defensive back. Cam Miller. So it was going to be tough enough for them, right? Losing all those starters, but now they're dealing with all those injuries as well. So kind of a tall task. They've got a good quarterback in Valentine who's still growing, and sometimes he wants to rush the football. We'll see if that's something tonight this Wolves team can take advantage of.
West Ridge having a great season. They are 5-2 on the year. Only 2 losses coming against Elizabethton and DB. So they're feeling pretty good about where they stand, and they've got a shot to return to the playoffs after missing a year ago. And as Ron alluded to, Morristown East, a young team that is dealing with a lot of injuries. That is the overall matchup for these two teams. We'll break it down even more here on the Possum pregame show and throughout the game. But first, we've got a lot more coming up tonight on Gridiron Game Day. Leslie?
Thanks so much, guys. We do have a lot going on here on Gridiron Game Day. So we talked about things that are going to be happening on the field, but stick around for the things that are happening right here on the sidelines. We are going to be highlighting the West Ridge Band all throughout the night. Several interviews here on the sidelines. We will be highlighting senior night as well as the band senior night at halftime. I also want to mention and say congratulations to the Sullivan East High School volleyball team. They have made it to state. We know it's going to be so exciting, but it's also very costly. We hope that you would consider donating to that program. Information will be there on your screen. So if that is something that you're interested in, please take that opportunity to help them get to state. Stick around. A lot more coming up tonight here on Gridiron Game Day on BTES Power 7.
In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, where the spirit of community runs deep, Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services has been a cornerstone in our area for almost 80 years. Founded in 1945, BTES began with a simple mission: to bring reliable electricity to every home and business in Bristol. Through decades of dedication, innovation, and unwavering service, we've powered dreams and brightened lives. Today, we stand as a testament of progress, offering state-of-the-art services while honoring our rich legacy. Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services, our community's trusted resource for energy and connectivity. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Welcome back to Westridge High School. It is senior night, and the senior football players are on the field. Let's throw it down to the field.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Ridge and the campus of Westridge High School for Senior Night. Tonight we will be recognizing our 2025 seniors from our fall sports programs. We will begin with our football team, followed by the girls and boys cross country, girls and boys golf, the alphas, and the cheerleaders. And first, we want to recognize the 2025 senior football players. We would like to thank the families for allowing their son to be a part of our football program. The journey from their youth programs until their senior year has been one of hard work and dedication for both the players and their families. We at Westridge appreciate all the time, the hard work and dedication each of these young men have put in. We appreciate and honor the leadership shown and the efforts made. We wish the players and families the best of luck and much success as they continue to make memories here on the Ridge. Ladies and gentlemen, our 2025 Westridge senior football players. Number 1, Ethan Amix. Number 10, Caleb Mabb. Number 12, Goliath Arp. Number 15, Jacob Bledsoe. Number 16, Braylon Thunderberg. Number 25, Carter Hobbs. Number 29, Samuel Burris. Number 42, Evan Manus. Number 45, Sam Perry. Number 52, Tanner Mims. Number 55, Nathan Arnold. Number 60, Ethan Icino. Number 71, Morgan Thornton. Number 73, Charlie Barger. Number 77, Caden Duke. Number 86, LaRon Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Westridge senior football players, parents, and guardians. Thank you, seniors.
All right, so you saw it there, the senior football players for Westridge as they have a good group. And Ron, this senior class for this Westridge team is really carrying a lot of the responsibility for why they're sitting here at 5-2 at this point in the season.
Yes, very gifted class. You know, there's several players there that certainly have the ability. When you think about an Amix, I think Icino comes in there as well, Mab, Caden Duke. You know, you've several players right there that could definitely play at the next level. And Chris, for a lot of these players, you can kind of see if you will, the sun's starting to break over the horizon as these 4 years come to an end. So they're just sort of, if you will, for a turn of a phrase, they're just trying to suck the marrow out of the bone right now in this experience.
It was back in November after the season that Westridge had last year where they missed the playoffs that this group of seniors came to head coach Justin Hilton and said, we want to change some things. We want to have a little bit better culture. We want to focus a little bit more on who we are as a team. And just in talking to some folks here, even tonight ahead of this game, they're really proud of this group, and not only their ability on the field, but as you've alluded to also, just their leadership. They just seem to be a tight-knit group.
Well, you know, I think, Chris, too, and you and I asked the question this week, how do you keep them focused this time of the year? And one of the things Coach Hilton said to us first was, this is a group that really enjoys being around each other. And I've been in a locker room with teams that don't enjoy being around one another. And boys, you want that quality when it comes to a high school football team.
Still a lot of football left for Westridge, but let's take a peek at the standings here. As you can see, Dobbins Bennett currently setting the pace in Region 1 6A football, but a lot, pretty much 2 through 5, still yet to be decided. I suppose Dobbins Bennett doesn't have it clinched yet for the #1 seed, but Westridge, their final 3 games of the season, they get Morristown East tonight, and then they play Science Hill and Jeff County to close out the season. They could really rise all the way up potentially to the 2 seed.
Yes, once again, take care of tonight. Don't look ahead. I'm sure that it's been preached to these Wolves over and over again. And Chris, one of the other parts of all this, and we've talked about this, right? For Westridge, you can really gum up the works and maybe improve your standing substantially. But the one thing you really do not want to be is you do not want to be that 4 seed having to travel to Maryville to open up the playoffs. That is not an inevitable spot you want to be.
Goal 1, make the playoffs.
Yes.
Goal 2, maybe avoid the #1 seed out of Knoxville, right? The
yes.
Knoxville area. All right. So we did the seniors for football, and now we're going to see seniors from other sports here from Westridge. Let's throw it to the field.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the rest of our fall sports programs. Girls cross country, Nora Jenkins. Boys cross country, Flynn Botcher. Andrew Brown. Shepard Johnson. Braxton Rasnick. Girls golf, Ashlyn Chesser. Isabel Painter. Lola Sanders. Boys golf, Will Holmes. From the Alphas, Taylor Buckingham. Cheerleaders, Meredith Cochran. Bella Graybill. Miley Hibbs. Jaden Lingerfeld. Justin McKee. Ava Nothnagel. Caden Rowland. Amelia White. Ladies and gentlemen, our seniors from girls cross country, boys cross country, girls golf, boys golf, the Alphas, and the cheerleaders. Thank you, seniors.
And that was another portion of our senior night. I am currently here with Chris Smithson, who is one of the band directors here at Westridge High School. We've got the band behind us, so we're very excited to see them tonight. We are going to see their full performance tonight, which we have not seen yet, which I'm very excited for. Let's talk about that performance, what we'll see, kind of the theme of everything going on.
Our theme is actually Chasing Sunshine. Basically, it's dark to light. You'll see it through some of the props and in our color guard uniforms. If you were to see our contest uniforms, we actually have new uniforms this year, and we get to change those out. So we're wearing a bright yellow shirt kind of underneath for contest. Really cool. Yeah. But school colors tonight. So yeah, it's a neat show. So you'll hear at the very beginning, it is really, really dark. You'll hear a stormy kind of thing in the middle. And then it ends with Tomorrow from Annie, which is really pretty neat. So.
Well, I'm really excited to see it. And with it being senior night tonight, I'm sure that is a special performance for your seniors. Are they ready for tonight? Ready for, what comes next?
Absolutely. Some of them are really excited to leave. Sometimes they're not so excited to leave, and I get that. But absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be really cool for those guys to actually get one more run through at our home stadium. And yeah, they're pretty excited to go tonight.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much, Chris, for coming and talking to us. And I'm so excited. Throughout the evening, we're going to hear from lots of band directors and drum major and just lots of things about the band. We're so excited to highlight them. Absolutely. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
Timeless country.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
The good stuff that brings back so many memories. 96.3, The Possum.
And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee. 96.3, The Possum.
Again, back here at Westridge High School, you're watching Gridiron Game Day. It is the Possum pregame show as we continue with our pregame festivities here on senior night. We've got even more coming up here at Westridge as folks are continuing to pile in for what is a pink out. You're going to see some pink in the stands a little bit here as Morristown East has made the trip up I-81 to hang out and take on the Westridge Wolves in a game that has a lot of playoff implications, as Westridge, with a win, is hoping to clinch a spot in the playoffs for this year. Morristown East does not have a region win either, so both teams still winless, looking for that first win in region play this year, which will go a long way towards their playoff aspirations coming into play tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead and we know we've got an important game here tonight, Ron, with this Region 1 6A, but there's some other games going on tonight in the area that we're keeping a close eye on. Of course, two of our Gridiron Game Day teams, Sullivan East playing Elizabethton tonight, Tennessee High on the road at Sevier County. That game is basically the conference championship game in Region 1 5A. And then Jefferson County is taking on a really good PAL team out of Knoxville. And Mo West, who Mo East knows very well, a very important game for them against Boone.
Yeah, you know, it's an exciting time of the year because really you see a lot of teams that are just either fighting for placement or fighting for their playoff lives. You can look at that last game right there between Daniel Boone and Morristown West. You know, that's very much fighting to get into the playoffs. Just an exciting time of the year. In addition, we'll be calling out some other games. Now, Greenville plays a 6-1. A 6-1 Greenville team plays a 6-1 Volunteer team. I don't know that anyone saw that coming at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Volunteer is certainly the surprise team of Northeast Tennessee. They didn't win a game last year, if I recall correctly. So they're having a great year and have set themselves up for a playoff run in Region 1 4A. More than likely. I don't know that that's officially decided yet, but what a season that Volunteer has had. So we will keep a close eye on some of those games tonight, especially the ones that affect the ball game here with Westridge and Morristown East. Now, this is the only game in Region 1 6A where the two teams are region matchups.
Yes.
Interesting games, though. DB's off this week, but Science Hill is at Maryville, who we've already mentioned earlier, and Jeff County and Powell are facing off as well. So we will keep you up to date with those scores. But now we're throwing it back to the field as we've got a performance by the Spirit Squad here at Westridge.
They're competing together at state and regionals in the brand new Spirit competition division. Both teams are proud to have received superior ratings at UDA and UCA summer camps. Cheer has 7 All-Americans, and Alphas have 4 All-Americans. The Alphas have also received a bid to the National Dance Team Championship in Orlando, Florida. This evening, the Spirit team is excited to be performing our Spirit competition routine and our new third quarter tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Westridge Spirit team. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a big round of applause for your Westridge Spirit team.
All right, that was the Spirit Squad here at Westridge. And as we inch closer to kickoff here from Westridge High School, we want to show you an interview we had earlier this week with Coach Hilton as he caught us up to speed with how the Wolves have been playing and previewed tonight's game.
Yeah, we had a lot of adversity, and it was adversity we didn't handle too well when we played Dobbins Bennett. So to see us respond in a positive way and overcome some injuries and overcome some penalties and some turnovers and stuff, it was good to see and come out with a win. You know, I think it's just another conference game, and we've been preaching all year, you only get 10 opportunities that you're guaranteed. You don't want to waste any of those. So, you know, Morristown's coming in here with the same thoughts. You know, this is a playoff game to get into the playoffs, so I don't think there should be any problem getting people ready to play. Offensively, they throw it more than they run it, so they give you some complex pass concepts in the back end to force you to be disciplined, and then when they come back in and run it, try to get you light in the box, you got to be able to tackle those guys, and their quarterback's pretty elusive. Defensively, they have two really good linebackers and active safeties. They get involved in the run game pretty heavily, which I'm sure they'll be involved in our run game, so we're going to have to be a little more balanced, be able to throw the ball a little bit and keep them on their toes. Can't turn the ball over. We got to take care of ourselves. No penalties. Can't turn the football over and maintain drives, you know, and finish it with a kick. If we do those things, we're going to be successful.
Again, Westridge is trying to find a way into the playoffs. They missed the playoffs last year and are trying to get back for the first time since 2023. Morristown East looking to make the playoffs for the first time since 2022. And a couple key players that are going to determine the outcome of this one. First, we'll start with the visitors from Morristown East. It's number 0, Cade Henson at linebacker. Henson, very talented player. Coach Hilton mentioned just how good this linebacking core is for Morristown East. Said he's one of the best linebackers in the region, and he's got 9 tackles for loss already on the season.
Yeah, you know, we look at our key players right there, 2 very good linebackers with similar kinds of games, really. Good horizontal movement, quick steps, both vertically and horizontally. You know, I would say Cade Henson, the sort of factory leader right now due to some of the injuries they've had to go through.
And with the way Westridge likes to run the football, he should be very active in trying to stop that Wolves running game here tonight. Now on the side for Westridge, it's senior linebacker Sam Perry. He's the leading tackler on this squad with 73 tackles. That's a lot, by the way. He had 88 last year, so he may get to 100 tackles before this season's all said and done, and he gets this defense lined up.
Yeah, sorry, Chris, I kind of jumped the rabbit or hole right there a little bit because I was looking at Sam Perry as we were having that conversation. You know, the thing I like about Sam Perry that really stands out about him is he looks to run through people. I mean, he's just violent, and boy, do you want that in a linebacker.
Perry all over the field. You're going to see 45 flashing in the middle of that Westridge defense that has played really well this year. In fact, Coach Hilton told us the group that's really surprised him most this year, that sort of exceeded expectations, was that defensive line, and it has allowed players like Sam Perry to go in there and get those tackles.
Yep, very, very sound, and they have progressed well.
Just a few minutes until kickoff. We'll take a timeout and come back with even more here on the Possum pregame show, live from Westridge High School. It's Gridiron Game Day.
Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services is your hometown provider of electric, internet, telephone, and cable television services. With our robust fiber optic network, we offer internet speeds of 10 gigabits per second to every home and business in our service area. Our mission is to enrich our community while striving to make tomorrow better than today. BTES, your trusted resource for energy and connectivity.
Timeless country.
Oh, play me some mountain music.
She said, here's your one chance, fancy, don't let me down.
The good stuff that brings back so many memories. 96.3, The Possum.
And that's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
Westridge High School here on senior night. As you see, these stands are starting to fill out a little bit. Lots of pink there in the student section on a pink out night here for senior night as Westridge hosts Morristown East in a critical region contest with a ton of playoff implications on the line. And speaking of the game, Ron, tell us what's going to matter. What are the keys to the game tonight?
Yeah, I think if we start with Morristown East right there, you've got to keep this Wolves team behind the chains. Do not give them second down and 2, second down and 3. Force them in third and long. And then, boys, special teams have got to show up big tonight in multiple phases. You've got to force them to drive the length of the field. For the Wolves tonight, boy, what a good defensive line. We've already talked to them, but I think they've got an opportunity to just absolute feast tonight. We talk about Tanner Mims and Caden Duke and Smith and Tana McConnell. I could just keep them on. By the way, Caden Duke, you don't see it very often at a D tackle, the second leading tackler. Plays with a lot of motion. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And the other thing is, because we know this Mo East team is going to throw a lot of crossing routes and do some unusual things in the passing game, you have to have that level of communication in the secondary. It might mean keeping your linebacker in where that mesh point might be for the routes, or it may be extending the zone. But at the very least, on the back end, the guys have got to communicate tonight. And when they see a route and they anticipate a route, they have to let others know.
This is the fifth all-time meeting between these two schools. Of course, Westridge has only been a school for 5 football seasons. But Westridge leads this series 3-1, as Morristown East was only able to get one of those games against Westridge so far in the series, as they've become region mates, if you will. That was back in 2022. Mo East, the last win in the series. Westridge has won the last couple, and they will try to continue that tonight on a night where they're looking to get into the playoffs starting in early November. As you start to see this Westridge team line up for the Wolf Walk here on senior night as they head down to the field. A couple things on Westridge as they head towards the field here. This has really been a bounce-back season. We haven't been here since early September when they took on Hardin Valley, but if you would have looked at the schedule and some of these teams that Westridge has played, to come out, certainly you want to win all of them if you're the team in blue, but to come out sitting at 5-2 with your 2 losses to Dobbins Bennett and Elizabethton, you've got to feel a lot better about where you sit here if you're Westridge.
And Chris, when you look at those 2 losses, Coach Hilton talked to us about this week. You take away those turnovers, 5 against Dobbins Bennett, 4 against Elizabethton. I know for a fact without those turnovers, that Elizabethton game probably ends differently. That I know for another fact that Dobbins Bennett game would have been a lot closer. If they take care of the football, I give them a really good chance about anybody they can go up against.
Coach Hilton told us he feels like the only people that can stop his team is his team in terms of those turnovers. They are -3 on turnovers on the season. And so
you don't see many 5-2 teams at -3.
Right. And so it's really just been those 2 lopsided results in those 2 games that they've lost. So, you know, in talking with Coach Hilton earlier this week, Ron, you asked a great question. You said, give me a group that has really succeeded and a group that maybe hasn't lived up to expectations. And surprisingly, his critique was on his running backs.
Yeah, and here's sort of the key to all this, right? Chris, this is a good team. But I can tell you, when you look at the style of play they play, they are not a team that was created to come from behind. If they get into a deficit, it's difficult with them with that methodical sort of run game. Only 149 yards passing this season. It's difficult. So they have got to stay ahead as far as the turnover battle goes.
As you can see, the Morristown East Hurricanes just came onto the field. Morristown East is 1-7 on the season. They've lost 7 straight games after that opening win against South Green, 26-22. And they're trying to grab what would be a big win for this Morristown East program under head coach Dallas Perkendall. And now a special moment here as you see the Westridge players giving some high fives to some young and future Wolves from some of the youth programs here in the area as they get prepared to come onto the field here in front of this home crowd. You see there some Huskies See several of the local youth
Cougars
teams represented. Cougars as well. Got a little bit of that Sullivan Central flavor, even though Central's no longer a high school, now a middle school. Got to be a cool moment for those youngsters, though, as they look up to these big high schoolers.
And youth programs are so key to developing your older programs. You want to keep kids excited. In the age that we live in, Chris, you want to keep them at home, too.
All right, they're lighting off the smoke here as Westridge is getting ready to head on to the field, and here they come. It's the Westridge Wolves. Senior night, Ron. This is the last home game of the year for Westridge. They'll close out the season on the road at Science Hill and then at Jefferson County in 2 huge games in region play. Westridge only with 4 home games this year. That'll even out next year when they get 6 of them.
Yeah, and this really is a special place to play. You know, very beautiful field. By the way, you know, there is the opportunity that they could get a home playoff game.
Sure.
You know, they certainly have, and you could make a strong argument they still control their own destination in regards to that. So still, even though this last home game, a lot left to play for these Wolves.
Well, the truth is, if Westridge does win out, they will host a home playoff game, because the 2 teams they need to jump are 2 teams they're going to play in these next 2 weeks. So that would be quite the story if they could pull that off, for sure. And we know they have the talent, and especially in the running back room, to do that. As we throw it to the field for the presentation of colors here right before kickoff.
Tonight's all-senior color guard is under the direction of Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Vivian Edwards, daughter of Stan and Alexa Edwards, along with Cadets Calvin Dean, son of Brian and Miranda Dean, Joshua Bartz, son of Ravonda Nath, Selena Chavez Pitzer, daughter of Brandy Pitzer, Levi Johnson, son of Brad and Lori Johnson, Asia Nelms, daughter of Van and Austin Nelms, Trinity Thrift, daughter of Casey and Stephen Thrift, Oswald Thomas, son of Wes and Jenny Warren, Will York, son of Rebecca York. Junior ROT seniors that could not be here tonight: Jake Anderson, Cameron Dishman, Cameron Haar, Natalie Warner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
live here high above the field at Westridge High School, just moments away from kickoff. Coming up, we thank you for tuning in on Gridiron Game Day. It's the Possum pregame show. Thank you again for our YouTube viewers tuning in at BTES Videos. Be sure to subscribe if you're there. Also, hello to those of you watching from home on Channel 7 or 207 or on your BTES internet stream. A gorgeous night as the sun is setting here over the ridge as the captains are heading to the center to get the coin toss and get ready for a important region contest between these two Region 1 6A schools.
Number 10, senior, Number 45, senior, Sam Perry. Heads. Number 55, senior, Nathan Arnold. Number 77, senior, Caden Booth.
It's a heads, you've won the toss. For the second half. Okay, Morristown, you want to receive. Okay, do you want to kick away from the clock? Okay.
Come this way, Jim.
Won the toss and returned to the second half. This is for tonight's game. Play clock operator Doug Leverton.
It's the Ridge, Westridge and Morristown East on a beautiful night as you have a great shot from high above the campus of Westridge High School. He's Ron Marvel, I'm Chris Mangrum, Leslie Blevins down on the sideline, and we've got another great game coming for you tonight.
Yeah, it should be a dandy. You know, Chris, I will share as we're looking at that coin toss. Prayers go out to Nathan Arnold. That's not an easy thing right there. You know, his hopes tonight on senior night was not go out there in shorts. That's sort of the hand that he's been dealt, so we'll pray for a speedy recovery that he's able to get in another game.
He has made a big impact on this program in his time playing, as he'll have to sit on the sidelines here on senior night and watch his teammates go for a big game and a big win, hopefully for Westridge, as the kickoff is on the way. Manus puts a foot into it, and Morristown West on the return. They will start just across the 20-yard line. That is Tucker Wyatt, a sophomore on the return, and we will see this Morristown East offense first, led by their sophomore quarterback, Josiah Valentine. And Coach Kirkendall told us, Ron, that as this offense will go sort of as he goes.
Yeah, and he also shared with us, you know, he's had flashes of brilliance, and he's just starting to understand what it involves to be a 6A football quarterback.
Just a sophomore. Fake pitch going downtown on the first play and complete. Wyatt was open, but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, Chris, and if you go back and look at that, that was just an easy thing right there if he's turning his head upfield before he got the ball. Beautiful throw right there.
Another peek at the sort of play action. Look at the linebacker's bite there.
Look at the last second head turn right here. There it goes.
What a throw from Valentine.
Yeah, that back shoulder throw is not an easy throw.
Here's the toss. Braden Smith gets the first carry for Morristown East. He's kind of been listed as the third running back on this team, so a little bit of a surprise to see him out there.
10 carries for 24 yards, but you know, we've talked about it already. This East team has been just riddled with injuries, so probably going to be calling some names tonight. Otherwise, we might not be.
Yeah, you need the whole roster in a game like this, that is for sure. So third down as Morristown East trying to pick up a first down, keep the chains moving here early in the game. is, again, a very important region matchup. Running back is B.J. Sloan, much bigger back out there to the right of Valentine. Rolled pocket on third down, throw back. And that pass is complete. Caught on the near side by B.J. Johnson.
Yeah, we've talked to Coach about that player too, an explosive and that player that can take the top off of a defense, and we saw it right there.
So a first down on the first drive for the Hurricanes. First give to Sloan and hit right away as that Westridge defensive line showing out on that play.
Valentine this year has 824 yards. Chris, but the interesting thing about him as a quarterback, he's only averaging about 10 yards per pass.
You probably saw it there on the quarterback slab, but something to watch out for Valentine. He's got 7 touchdowns, but he's thrown 15 interceptions, so he really puts the ball in harm's way quite a bit, and we believe that from what his coach has said is he's just trying to make a play, sometimes forcing the issue. Here's a completion near side. Nathan Collier, the H-back. And a nice job as Morristown East has the offense moving.
Yeah, we talked about being able to communicate, and that was the other route that we expected, was that little screen tonight. Set up pretty well there. A little surprised they didn't have a couple blockers to sort of run with him, but even at that, good room there, that first down. Well, actually, I guess, Chris, it's third and what are we looking at?
Yeah, third and short here.
Okay. I thought he had enough for the first.
Valentine hands off to Sloan, and he powers through for a first down.
Yeah, there's not many players I've known that can sort of move past Perry like that, but he's a good downhill runner, and 232 yards this season. Just has that power back mentality when he hits the hole.
Get a good look there at Coach Kirkendall on the sideline for Mo East as they move quickly here, and they've just got a free 5 yards as they were able to draw music offside. So Morristown East with the ball first. This is quite the drive for them.
Yes.
Knowing all that they're dealing with their youth, the injuries. Coach Hilton told us, look, all it takes is for them to come down here and play their best game of the year and try to shock the world and keep their season alive for the playoffs.
Offensive line standing up pretty well right now, too.
Valentine floats one out a little too far for his target there.
You know, not the biggest offensive line, Chris, probably average about 6'1", 250, 260 across the border. Probably maybe smaller than that because they probably got some reserves in right now, or will have quite a few reserves in tonight, but holding up pretty well against what we anticipate to be a 4 or 5 man front most of the night for the Wolves.
Well, Ron, it took until game 9, but we've had our first nameless player of the season as 82 on the field for Mo East. We do not have an 82 on our roster.
That's a first.
Second down carry. This is Johnson. Picks up a couple.
LaRon Smith right there involved on the tackle. Such an athletic defensive end.
There's head coach Dallas Kirkendall. Played at Tusculum and spent 1 year at Chucky Doak. Had a pretty successful season and moved right up to Morristown East. He's only 28 years old.
10-2. You know, Chris, the thing is, it takes a while. This is a Mo East team that has not had a winning season since 2015. It takes a little while to change the culture in the program.
Another very manageable third and short here for the Hurricanes. Play fake, flip out to the far side, and that's enough for a first down. That's caught by B.J. Johnson again, and he's really had to step up in the absence of their top target, Brett Smith, who was their only returning starter from last year but is now hurt. As now you see Justin Hilton as he tries to motivate his defense here to get a stop as Mo East is moving down the field in Westridge territory. Hilton in his 5th season as the head coach of the Wolves and was with Sullivan South before the merger.
You see the stack at the bottom of the screen to set up the wide receiver screen?
Sure got it. And on the move, a completion, Braden Smith inside the red zone. We do have a flag on the field. Goes against Morristown East as Larry Hutchinson on the calls tonight. Paging all lip readers. I believe that was a block in the back on 7, Tucker Wyatt.
That was really well set up right there by East. As they come out here in this side and they just push.
See if we can see that block in the back out here on that screen. They might have gotten the wrong guy.
I don't know. I think they did, but that clearly was a block in the back.
Back underway on a pitch to Braden Smith on the far side. Does it feel a little bit, Ron, like they might be going with a sort of kind of a speed back against this Westridge defense? We haven't seen a whole lot of B.J. Sloan. So 2nd down and about 5 or so. Now they ask Joseph Gamble to step off the field and have a substitution as Jeremiah Kazee steps in his place. Nice job in the backfield. Great tackle by Dayton Brown for the tackle for loss on the carry by Braden Smith.
Just a great open field tackle right there.
You know, Brown was a corner there for the start of the season, but due to the injury to Nathan Arnold and kind of shuffling some things around, they changed Brown into that star role, and he's playing a lot more around the line of scrimmage now near the box. So 3rd and long as Westridge is trying to put an end to this drive that Morristown East has put together methodically. Valentine in trouble. Still on his feet. And just can't get his H back. Nathan Collier was calling for the football. And that sets up 4th and long.
Yeah, Chris, and there was a lot of open space if they were able to make that connection right there. I'm not saying he would have scored, but he probably would have gotten it within the 10.
Now the kicking situation for the Hurricanes, their kicker Uriel Guzman has not attempted a field goal this year. So this would be a 49-yard attempt, and as you can see, the offense remains on the field.
Coach Kirkendall told us within 30, he's comfortable though.
Yeah, didn't rule out that we could see Guzman in certain situations. They'll go for it on 4th down. Valentine looks to run, and he doesn't have enough as Dayton Brown continues to play well for Westridge. And despite Morristown East putting together a nice drive with several first downs, Westridge gets off the field with no points allowed.
Yeah, once again, just a great open field tackle there by Brown, and that is not easy. Watch this right here. Great vision, moves horizontally, and is able to wrap him up.
That play went 13 plays, or that drive rather, went 13 plays for 48 yards. So really trying to shorten the game for Morristown East.
I was getting ready to say, drained a lot of clock.
And off Amix on the first play. And he's up near midfield as we expect a heavy dose of number 1 tonight.
Yeah, we kind of talked about him coming back out tonight being hungry.
Just to update you if you're unaware on Amix, he actually missed the Morristown West game because he received 2 unsportsmanlike penalties in the game against Dobbins Bennett. So that qualified him for an ejection. He had to sit out a game, and now he's got really fresh legs. Amix again. This time an easy 5 yards or so.
And you know, well, we called his number, and he's coming up a little bit limp right there. We'll have to keep an eye on him. You know, Chris, what's going to be interesting tonight is to what degree we see Justice Hilton run tonight. You know, he's dealing with a high ankle sprain.
Yes, since we last saw Westridge, we were here on September 12th against Hardin Valley. They beat Daniel Boone 35-7, lost to Dobbins Bennett 45-14, and then had that win against Morristown West last week 23-13. Another give Amix, and the powerful Amix down towards the 30. But going back to that game last week against Morristown West, remember, we told you that Amix didn't play again in their last game. Of course, they just came off a bye last week, so Morristown West led that game 6-3 with 9 minutes left. Hilton got hurt. There was a question on whether he would come back. He did tough it out there in the fourth quarter and come back and play and led Westridge to a win through his leadership. And a flag. Apparently Morristown East was lined up in the neutral zone.
Defense, number 1, 5-yard penalty, down remains, first down.
Now we got the ref mic working. As a free 5 yards for Westridge as they try to get some points on the board on their first drive of the game. Hilton keeps, now pitches. This is Sam Perry, the senior, as he powers up near the 20-yard line. Haven't seen a whole lot of carries out of Mr. Perry this year.
No, not many at all, but that looked pretty good right there. But, you know, when you got Amix, all the attention kind of flows to him, and sure enough right there, and it springs. Kind of bobbled that for a second, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe a little loose with it. To my just double checking here, I think that was Perry's first carry.
I think it is too. I looked down at my stats and I didn't see a yard.
Back to Amix. What's interesting about this Westridge team is when you talk about Amix and Hilton and the season that they have had, we're talking about two guys that are totaling up near 1,750 rushing yards between the two of them. It's not out of the equation that both end up with 1,000-yard rushing seasons this year.
That's quite the accomplishment in high school football. You don't see that every year.
Another handoff. Ethan Amix to the end zone as Westridge strikes first, and they lead Morristown East here early. Ethan Amix with touchdown number 14 on the ground this year as he continues to have a great senior season. Samuel Burris on to attempt the extra point for the Wolves. And right into your living room as Westridge grabs a 7-point lead against Morristown East.
Chris, I want you to pay attention. This is called down blocking, but I want you to pay attention how far down the field these guys are firing off. Look at that wall.
A wall of blue.
When you see them in unison driving down the field that far, that tells you this offensive line is in line to have a pretty good night.
Coach Hilton told us they felt like they had an advantage in the line of scrimmage in this game. And again, if they can hold on to the football, not drop it, fumble it, give it away, they're going to have a lot of success. You know, we mentioned the 5 turnovers against Dobbins Bennett for Westridge in that loss, 45-14. After turning it over 5 times, Coach Hilton said they couldn't even beat the Colonial Heights Chargers turning the ball over like that.
Well, that may be a bit of an overestimation, but I can share his feelings. I've been in similar kind of situations before in my coaching days. You know, boy, turnovers can flip a game in a hurry. And I would say for sure the next 2 weeks and what they have in front of them, they're going to have good ball security.
So Westridge on the board first as they kick it off again. Hurricanes trying to find some points. Nice return from Wyatt out near the 35-yard line, and he's been a spark. So this Morristown East team is replacing 10 offensive starters from a year ago, 6 defensive starters. And when Coach Kirkendall was asked sort of about what this team is going through, replacing all those seniors, he said, it's kind of like you had a house built and a tornado came and ripped it to shreds. And just trying to replace all those guys, just a learning season for this Morristown East team. This looks like a maybe double pass option. Going down the field, Caleb Mabb picks it off. His 5th interception of the year.
Double coverage right there, and he just high points the ball. Big turnover there for the Wolves.
See a trick play there, thrown by Braden Smith. Caleb Mabb takes care of the rest. Big interception for the senior on senior night. Boy, he just rises to the occasion, doesn't he?
Yes. Yep.
All right, Leslie, what can you tell us a little bit more about Mr. Caleb Mabb down there?
Well, last season, he led the team in receiving with nearly 500 yards, but things look a little different this year. With Westridge shifting to a more run-heavy offensive scheme, Mabb has just 1 reception coming into tonight's game. For some players, that might be frustrating, but for him, he has completely embraced his new role. He's been outstanding on defense, as we just saw out there on the field just a second ago, with 4 interceptions as a safety, and he's also averaging 40 yards per punt as the team's primary punter. Coaches say that he's become the leader of the Wolves secondary, and he's even taken a few snaps this week, as we heard in pregame show, as the backup quarterback, just in case they need him there. He is the definition of a team-first player, willing to do whatever it takes to help Westridge win, which we hope we see tonight. Back to the guys.
Stop there, and I believe that ball might have come out. And Morristown East has the football after a fumble. And there we go. We talked a little bit about how Westridge's turnovers can kind of stop that offense at times, and now Morristown East gets it in plus territory.
Yeah, and you know, it just seems though they had all the momentum after the interception, right? And everything seems to be going in their direction. I just feel as though there's a strong likelihood they're getting ready to punch this ball in the end zone again. That just kills the drive, man. And now you've got to fight to get that momentum back. And I don't care who you are, you don't let a team hang around.
BJ Sloan with a powerful run. The big man for the Hurricanes.
Chris, I'll say this too. You know, I don't know how this game is going to end, but I will say this. Down as many players as they are or have been right now, well, they've come to play tonight. They're showing a lot of character and some heart right now.
It's a lot of credit to the coaching staff for getting your team. This is a 1-7 football team.
Yes.
But again, with the way that the playoffs work in the state of Tennessee, the region games are all that really matters. And if Morristown East could steal and win here tonight, they've got a shot. Timeout called here as Coach Kirkendall for Morristown East wants to have a chat about it. We'll take a timeout and be back with more action here from Westridge. The Wolves leading 7-0.
For For 85 years, United Southeast Federal Credit Union has proudly served our neighbors in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. We're more than a financial institution, we're part of the community. With 6 convenient branches and a team dedicated to your financial well-being, we're here to help you grow, save, and thrive. On the go, our mobile app and online banking make managing your money easy. United Southeast Federal Credit Union, helping our members live better lives.
Hey, coming up in the 4th quarter, the Eddie's Trophy Player of the Game. Our Player of the Game last week was Khalil Honaker, so stick around. We always, Chris, as you know, we always name a hometown player, if you will. We'll do that again tonight. So once again, Eddie's Trophy Player of the Game, name that in the 4th quarter.
Khalil had a great game last week for Tennessee High, and the win
so
over.
Excited when it came across the Jumbotron last week.
Yes, he was. Morristown West. Win for Tennessee High against Mo West last week. And off to Sloan, and boy, he keeps the legs moving. And I've been really impressed so far. I mean, we're winding down towards the end of the 1st quarter here, and Morristown East, as you said, Ron, they've come to play.
Yes, they have. Give them a lot of credit. Young man has 232 yards rushing on the season. You know, you just see the epitome of a downhill runner right there. Very explosive.
Flip out on a screen, and once again, Nathan Collier, who's gotten extremely involved. He had 9 catches coming into tonight, and I believe he's already got a couple here in this ball game.
Yeah, you have that play action right there that goes to the opposite side, Chris, and that opens up the screen as they pull in that side.
Morristown East knocking on the door of the red zone. Had it down this way earlier on their first drive, but could not cash in, turned it over on downs. Valentine going deep. Wow, did he catch that? My goodness. An interception for Braylon Funderburg. Looked like he almost double caught it and got a foot down, apparently.
Yeah,
second pick of the night.
I kind of want to see that foot down, Chris, if we can go to that replay.
Funderburg, speaking of players who are taking on new roles.
Yes.
Coach Kirkendall pointed him out, said he's been playing really well for Westridge. Let's see.
When does he gain possession?
Ooh, that, I think his leg came down in bounds.
That looks like an interception to me as well. And you know, Chris, he's just one of those players that is just working himself into more and more playing time.
Pitch play as Brody Fields hitting the backfield, but stays on his feet, reverses field. Ball out on the ground. My goodness, a turnover again as a fumble collected by Cam Miller, who is playing tonight.
You know, Chris, we've had this conversation, right? Ball security. It was one of the things that Coach Hilton shared with us, and he repeated it multiple times. They feel as though they can beat anybody as long as they'll take care of the football. And one thing I'm picking up here, and I don't know if you've noticed it or not, it seems like to me on the pitch, I don't know if that's part of the ankle injury, but Hilton is drifting really far back. I don't know if that's to avoid contact or what.
And guess who? Cade Henson, our player to watch, was able to get his helmet on the football there. Valentine brought down by LaRon Smith. Couple yards.
Great pursuit right there by LaRon Smith. So athletic, so quick, 6'2", 230 pounds, but almost plays like a corner with that athletic ability.
Lots of turnovers in this first quarter, and it seems like one turnover brings another. As we've seen 2 interceptions for Westridge, and then they fumbled it back right to Morristown East as we finish up the first quarter here from Westridge. All right, let's throw it to Leslie on the sideline for an interview.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Nick Ruth, who is a band director here at Westridge High School. All right, Nick, you all have been competing all season long. How's it been going? What have you all been able to achieve?
Hey, it's been awesome. Actually, the first competition we went to at Davy Crockett, unfortunately it got rained out, so we got there and then they had to send everyone home. But the second competition we went to right before fall break, it was at Lonesome Pine in Y Central. There we did awesome. We got first place in everything, and we got grand champion, so kind of band of the day out of all the bands.
That's amazing. And you all compete tomorrow.
That's right, yep. We're at John Battle tomorrow. We perform at 7:35. We're, again, the last band of the day. The kids have been doing awesome all week. We finally have our big props out, so everyone will get to see that tonight. The kids are super excited for tomorrow.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We can't wait to see your performance at halftime. Thanks for speaking with me for a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Bit of a sloppy first quarter there, Ron. I
very
guess
sloppy.
that might be one way to describe it.
And Chris, here's the thing. When you have two teams that seem tonight, they're very determined to some extent, maybe a little bit less for East, but boy, that quarter went by really, really fast.
Yeah, lots of runs. You always see that with Westridge. Both teams are going to try to hold on to the football a little bit better here in this second quarter. Deep ball to start. And nearly another interception for Funderburg, as that one was intended for Joseph Gamble.
You know, once again, Chris, kudos to this offensive line from Mo East. Now, not a whole lot of time that time, but still able to drift back in the pocket and get the ball away.
And the challenge that Morristown East presents for this Westridge team, Coach Hilton told us this week, it's rare that you see a team that likes to throw it a little bit more than they run it. They're used to a lot of heavy running in this region, but Morristown East not afraid to put it in the air.
Although, Chris, they've been successful running the ball.
Another shot at it here for Sloan, as he does move forward for a couple.
Ron Smith been very active tonight, as he's picked up several tackles. He just rode his back right down into the ground.
So fourth down. We saw Morristown East go in the first quarter on a fourth down in a similar spot on the field. They'll try to pick it up here to keep their drive alive. Play fake. And off the fingertips of Collier, and another turnover on downs. When you add in the turnover on downs to the 2 interceptions and the 2 fumbles, this game, it just keeps ending, these drives keep ending in turnovers, I should say.
Yes, but now if you look at what the Wolves had out here, that was played pretty well. That was not going to be a first down regardless.
Stick around at halftime. We'll have more with the Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week here from Westridge. We'll have that interview coming up at the halftime break. Here's a give to Amix, and he powers his way up to the 50-yard line.
Chris, I don't know that we've seen a run yet by Hilton, and that very well may be by design.
Coach Hilton told us he was listing Justice as questionable for this game. Obviously, he's out there toughing it out. He seems like the type of kid it'd be very hard to keep off the field, but he did say they rely heavily on their training staff, and he said they're one of the best training staffs around, as Amix picks up another carry.
You know, I've often thought, I bet that makes for some interesting conversations at home between Dad and Mom.
I was listening to, they have a podcast here at Westridge where they talk to the coach weekly, and Coach Hilton was saying that he does get some coaching from Miss Hilton sometimes from home about whether he should be more aggressive, conservative.
She's the head coach at home.
That's right. 2nd and 2. Dayton Brown back in the ball game after leaving earlier with an injury, but looks fine there. He's picked up a first down.
A little misdirection right there by Mack as he takes a step back like he's getting ready to get the ball pitched to him, and then he explodes through the line. Helps set up a block.
Don't believe Amix was on the field for that play. That was Jax Brown in the backfield.
You know, Chris, you're getting that point in time in the year when you kind of want to save some wear and tear, particularly on those two guys, right?
Amick's back in there here. This time a handoff to Orlando Mack. And he spins his way down to the 25.
You know, we've seen that fake out of him a couple times, and that time the ball actually gets pitched to him, and good yardage right there on that play.
I'll take you back all the way to the beginning of the year, Ron, when we were learning about Orlando Mack, and it's good to see him here late in the season.
Yes.
Missed the year last year, would have been an impact player, but had an injury. Good to see him here in week 9, or week 9 for us, still out there.
And he just looks like a college player, doesn't he? I mean,
Sure
he
does.
just has that range.
Quick handoff, Amick's. Oh, and just by the jersey there, Tucker Wyatt able to wrestle him down.
Yeah, good split block right there between McConnell and Icino as that hole opens up. And look at that hole right there, Chris.
So into the red zone for Westridge. Already 1 touchdown for Amick's. And they're going to try to do it again here to widen this lead about midway through the second quarter. Amick's bouncing off Hurricanes. And finally to the ground, Cam Miller on the tackle.
Well, he's a handful, isn't he? I mean, I remember Coach Hilton telling us he's the first one we won off the bus. And there's a reason for that. Yes, he looks like a football player.
And when you throw in the fact that Amick's missed the game against Mo West, they had a bye week in there. Amick's hasn't played in a varsity football game since September 26th. He's had a couple weeks off. I'd say he's feeling fresh. This is Hilton on the keeper. And the first carry of the night for the quarterback. Hilton goes to the end zone.
Chris, I want you to go back and I want you to see the block that Mack throws right here at the end to spring that run into the end zone.
Extra point coming up here for Westridge as they try to make this a 14-0 game. Not a surprise that 2 touchdowns in the game, 1 for Amick's, 1 for Hilton. Extra point up and good by Samuel Burris, and the Wolves continue to get it done on the ground. This time the sophomore Hilton takes it to the end zone. We'll be right back here on Gridiron Game Day.
Hi, I'm David Wampler. I'm franchisee for Jersey Mike's. We have stores in Bristol, Kingsport, Abingdon, Norton, and soon to have one in Gray, Tennessee. The store that we're in today is located on Volunteer Parkway. We opened this store in July of 2006. And Jersey Mike's is a wonderful franchise to be a part of. They're always stressing giving back to the community. We rely on our partnership with BTES because of the high-speed internet that they provide. BTES has always been very responsive to our needs.
Right here, if we watch Mack come out here between the guard and tackle and just makes that last block right there to get him into the end zone. Great view right there. Boom, right there, Chris.
Shout out to Austin, our drone pilot, for the great shot up high above the end zone for Westridge. And a big-time touchdown for the Wolves as they've doubled their lead here in the second quarter. We mentioned that the touchdown from Amick's was his 14th rushing touchdown. Justice Hilton just picked up his 11th rushing touchdown of the year for the Wolves. 29 rushing touchdowns for Westridge this year, 0 passing. Another return here for Tucker Wyatt. How about this? Throw out to the wide side and some extra room as Braden Smith, nice return.
What does it remind you of? Go back to the mid-1990s in Nashville.
Oh, the Music City Miracle.
Yes, looked like it, didn't it? Yep. And you're not quite as old as I am, so, you know, mid-90s you were, help me out here, Chris?
About 5.
Oh, God, now I feel awful. I shouldn't even have said anything. That was dumb on my part.
Oh, man. That's pretty good. Yep.
Just set myself right up.
I suppose I am a little younger than you, Ron.
A little.
Valentine, the pitch to Braden Smith. As he's up near the 45. Seems like Morristown East is willing to pull out all the stops in this game, knowing that pretty much if they don't win this game, they're eliminated from playoff contention.
Yep. You know, there's no reason to hold anything back. You know, really for them, you still play next week, right? And Chris, at some point in time, we need to talk about their end of the season bye, because I tell you, I do not believe that's fair.
2nd and 1. Valentine running for his life and flips it out of bounds. So let's talk about it now. So this Morristown East team is 1-7. They've already played 8 games. This is their 9th. Next week they play Jeff County in what is their 10th game of the season. Well, that's their 10th game, and they didn't have a bye week. Well, their bye week comes at the very last week of the season, which doesn't do you any good, I suppose, unless you're going to make the playoffs.
What are they healing for?
Right, right. So what's interesting about that is if you think about Region 1-6A, there's 5 teams.
Yeah, and Kirkendall said this very well may happen to them next year. Wait for the call.
It looks like intentional grounding is the call. Let's see.
Intentional grounding, offense. It's a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down. The ball did not go beyond the down marker, so it's intentional grounding.
And Chris, as a point of clarity here, I don't know that he was outside the tackle box. That might be where the call is coming from.
Let's see. I think even if he's outside of the tackle box, he still has to get it to the line of scrimmage. And he hits the guy holding the down marker. So.
Well, he's not wearing black and orange, so that won't work.
Well, Coach Kirkendall is not, I don't think, too pleased at that call, which that's a loss of down as well.
Yes.
So instead of 3rd and short, it's 3rd and long.
And looking at it again here where he's at the hash marks, I actually thinks he is outside the box. Great pursuit, by the way, as we're talking about this by Smith and Mack right there. Music, I guess, over there too, if I'm looking at it. Yep.
Okay, so since that was 3rd and short, the play counts. And now it's, I think we got a lot of confusion. The down marker went to 4th. Now it says
Correction.
3rd.
It's 3rd down instead of 4th down. Correction, 3rd instead of 4th.
Okay, I think they finally decided it's 3rd down.
And Chris, what we were getting ready to say was that this team, this Mo East team, very well may have to get another bye next year.
Yes.
In that 11th week.
So 3rd down and 15. Valentine on the scramble drill, and a great open field tackle by Sam Perry.
Good pressure there by Music, as well as he forces him out of the pocket and up the field.
So to kind of wrap up this point on the bye week, right? 5 teams in the region. Well, almost in every region in the state of Tennessee, in that final week of the season, you're going to have region teams playing region teams.
Yes.
So what that means is, with an odd number of teams in this region, the other 4 teams are playing each other that week, so Morristown East has no one to play, and with the rest of the state of Tennessee playing region opponents, there's just no one to play.
I get all that, Chris, but I guess the thing that I would say is we see the fair catch right here. It seems like to me there has to be a solution for that, because it's one thing the TSSAA stresses is fairness, and to me that creates an unfair advantage.
And you're looking at a Morristown East team that's dealing with a lot of injuries.
Oh gosh,
I'm not saying, I mean, you can't say for sure that a bye week would have helped. I mean, it certainly, maybe you can't say it would have helped, but yes, it wouldn't have hurt. So it's tough. And then in this 2-year cycle, it sounds like they're going to have to deal with the same problem next year too.
Yes, if I was Coach Kirkendall, I think I'd be sitting in somebody's office, at least wanting an explanation of how things could be fixed.
First down handoff, Amix. And again, a positive run. I don't think he went down. And he's still on his feet. A race to the end zone, Amix. Touchdown, Ethan Amix. His knee did not touchdown. He was kind of spun over, landed on the body of the tackler, and he has the wherewithal to take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, his hip just sort of rolled right over his leg as we go back to this and watch this replay right here. So alert by Amix. Rolls over, comes back on the backside, puts his hand in the ground, that knee never touched, and is able to get up. And I think he knew it the entire time. I think the entire East team thought that he was down.
Second touchdown of the night for Ethan Amix, and he's already over 150 yards. Extra point up and good, and on that carry, Ethan Amix has crossed 1,000 rushing yards for the season. Just a special season for Ethan Amix, who's pretty much just breaking records at this point of the year. One final regular season game coming up next week at Sullivan East as they welcome the Northview Cougars in a Region 1 4A matchup. Sullivan East at this point still looking for that first win of the season.
Yeah. Both these teams very well may be out of the playoffs when we go that game this week. But boy, there's still a lot on the line for these two teams. You want to get that win. You want to be able to sort of hang your hat on something positive as you look towards next year. And send these seniors out right, by the way.
Of course, East playing Elizabethton tonight. That's a tall task.
Oh, yeah.
And then ending with Northview. That's their final home game next week against Northview. And then I believe they finish the year at Volunteer.
Yes. And for Elizabethton next week, Greenville.
A lot of eyes will be on that game.
Yes. Seems like every year in 4A Region 1, it comes down to the Cyclones and the Green Devils.
Westridge up 21-0 as the kickoff on the way. And another nice return there for Tucker Wyatt. So we've seen Morristown East have a little bit of success. They're kind of pulling out the bag of tricks to try to do anything they can to stay in this game. But right now, the rushing attack for Westridge, as maybe many expected, is taking control. So we'll see what the Hurricanes offense has in store here. We've seen them get into Westridge territory a couple times, but just haven't been able to cash in. Valentine on the keeper, out of bounds, shoved out by Hayden Music. So a pickup of a yard there for Morristown East. As we're getting close here to halftime, just under 5 minutes to go in this region game. Remember what's at stake. Westridge with a win pretty much clinches a spot in the playoffs, where Morristown East would then be eliminated from postseason play.
Chris, as you talked about, it's been kind of sloppy, but at the same time, the end result's going to be the Wolves up big at the half.
More screen action on the completion to Braden Smith.
And Chris, let me throw something else out here too. I do think this Mo East team has showed this Westridge team some things that they are probably going to see out of some Knoxville teams once they get in the playoffs. A lot of screens down there, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of different types of passing plays once you head to Knoxville.
Third down. Valentine in trouble and just decides to go down, which sets up another fourth down here. Sam Perry in the area. You're not talking about Knoxville schools because you watched that Halls Central game last night, are you?
Boy, that was explosive, wasn't it? That's two very good teams. And the real possibility that one of those teams very well may see Tennessee High in the first round.
So 4th down as Tucker Wyatt on to punt. As you see the formation. And that one goes out of bounds where Westridge will take over and have a chance to add on to their lead here in the final 3 minutes or so. All right, coming up at halftime, it's the Alphas dance team performances, band performance, as well as the band senior recognition. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, stick around for the Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week interview with a student here from Westridge High School. Just a few minutes away from halftime. Ethan Amix once again takes about 2 or 3 white shirts to take him down. It's downhill running for Ethan Amix, who continues to add on to his impressive season. Now Hilton keeps on this snap, finds a couple of yards. And Ron, you mentioned earlier that Hilton could be a little limited with that injury.
Yeah.
Obviously had the touchdown earlier, but with a score this wide, you might see him not run as much.
Yeah.
Here's some scores. You see Elizabethton has jumped up early on Sullivan East, 14-0, and no scores really yet in the other 3 games. Did hear that the Tennessee High Sevier County game started at 7:30 rather than 7 tonight, so they may be a little behind. Nice carry there for Brody Fields as Westridge has picked up another first down with the clock winding down here in the second quarter.
And that's just the case right there where Brody Fields just sort of shows off the speed and he's able to beat the defender to the corner.
I'll tell you another score that we I just saw, Ron. I don't know if you've got a more up-to-date score. Science Hill leading Maryville 10-7.
Oh my! In
the second quarter.
Wow. I know Greenville's up on Volunteer right now in the second quarter, 14-0.
Barges ahead for a few more.
Chris, this just seems to sort of like a methodical effort now by the Wolves to just sort of, put their foot on the throat of Morristown East. I mean, it's just kind of chunk play after chunk play after chunk play.
Well, you mentioned in your keys to the game that Morristown East didn't want to give Westridge situations like this right here. Yep. 3rd and short. 3rd and long. That 3rd and long is what you need to force Westridge into. Make them put the ball in the air. That's something they don't really want to do as much as running the football.
Yeah, way too good are the Wolves in short yardage. Oh!
Nice stop. That was a blitz right up the middle. And a great job there by Brent Lunsford, I believe, who had the first contact for Morristown East, which sets up 4th down.
And boy, if you're going to tackle Amix right here in this situation, that is how you do it, is get him low before he can get those legs generating.
And that was not only Lunsford, but also Cade Henson. We've said his name a lot tonight. We expected he would be around the ball quite a bit, and he certainly has been, as it sets up 4th down. Okay, let's do our lineman versus lineman feature, something that we've been doing this year. See on your left, it's Kingston McConnell, the junior, big Texas Roadhouse fan. Well, so is Chase Morlock, the journeyman lineman for BTES, a graduate of Sullivan Central. And yeah, throw a little Shoku in there too, huh? Little face-off there on our lineman versus lineman feature that we've been doing this year.
I've yet to make it Shoku, but everybody talks about it, man. I've got to make it over there. I love some sushi.
There's been a lot of sushi flavor in these lineman sessions this year.
You don't think about sushi with linemen, do you? Texas Roadhouse I get, but not sushi.
Hey, Texas Roadhouse has also been a staple in those segments. 4th down, Wolves going for it. Here comes a handoff. Dayton Brown. What a tackle, but there's a flag. It's Terry Pearson on the tackle, but I think they might get him for up around the face mask or horse collar area. Let's see.
Holding offense.
Okay.
Number 4. That
So
penalty's been
holding.
declined. 1st and 10.
So Morristown East stands up tall in this end of the field and keeps Westridge off the board. And now they're going to try to make this a little bit closer game. Let's see if we can spot the hold. Must have been out of the screen there.
Yeah, I didn't see anything right there.
That flag came in right around the tackle spot, which is what confused me. 1st and 10. Morristown East trying to put something together. Valentine nowhere to go, and a sack for LaRon Smith, who's been playing excellent tonight.
Chris, you would not want to be in that position with LaRon Smith with those 2 great big arms spread out like a bear coming at you. Look at this. This is the kind of thing that Halloween nightmares are made out of if you're a quarterback. Look at those arms.
Right on brand, Ron. We're getting close.
Yep.
Halloween coming up in a couple weeks. 2 weeks from today, actually.
We talked about this defensive line being able to feast. Well, I think they're starting to cook right now.
There's B.J. Sloan.
Chris, I've got to tell you, I've been impressed with this young man. I mean, just an 11th grader. He's going to have another year, but boy, is he just a load when he gets going. Look at this. Lower the shoulder.
Big time run.
Yep.
However, no more seconds left in the 2nd quarter as we are preparing for halftime. The Wolves leading the Hurricanes 21-0. All 3 touchdowns on the ground for Westridge. As we are going to take a break and be back with more Gridiron Game Day here from Westridge.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Welcome back to halftime as the Westridge Wolves leading the Hurricanes 21-0 in a fairly quick-moving first half. Ethan Amix with 2 touchdowns. Justice Hilton with a touchdown as well. And we'll throw it down to the field for performance here at halftime.
Westridge Panthers. Westridge Alphas.
And that was the Alphas dance team performance here at halftime at Westridge High School. Nice crowd on hand for senior night, as well as you see the student section decked out in pink tonight as well for Pink Out Night on what is the final home game of the regular season for Westridge. And now, as we did in pregame, we saw several of Westridge's athletes being recognized for senior night. It's now time to recognize the seniors from the band here from Westridge as they take the field. Enjoy senior night festivities here from the Ridge with the band.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to senior night as now we present the 2025 band seniors. Caitlin Addington. Kennedy Akerd. Nyla Hartley. Addison Broadwater. Andrew Brown. Lacey Coleman. Ethan Colson.
Thank y'all.
Calvin Dean. Laurel Beth Gibbons. Blaine Healy. Harrison Hounshell. Kirsten Jarrett. Levi Johnson. Michaela Jones. Lilia Lawson. Aiden McConnell. Caleb Miller. Jonah Morlock. Callista Page. Emerson Pierce. Wesley West Plaster. Olivia Ramsey. Liam Ricketts. Zach Sawyers. Tessa Van Zant. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 band seniors from the Westridge High School Marching Band. Thank you, seniors.
All right, that is the senior festivities here for the West Ridge Band. Here at halftime, West Ridge leads Morristown East 21-0. We'll head to a break and be right back.
We use energy in powerful ways. But for our region, there's more to it than keeping the lights on. Because we're served by public power, owned by the people who live here. It's for all of us. So the initiatives we're able to support have one purpose: helping our communities thrive. We're bringing the benefits of our potential to everyone. That's community energy, and it's happening all around us. Like more job opportunities and growing neighborhoods, outdoor recreation thanks to our protected lands and waterways, supporting local education, local business, and investing in the things we care about. You see, it's about more than power. It's about how we use our energy for a better tomorrow. That's community energy. That's the power of us.
Welcome back to West Ridge High School. We are here at halftime in a very important region contest between the Wolves and the Cyclones. West Ridge leading 21-0 with 3 touchdowns on the ground. Ethan Amix with a pair himself, not to anyone's surprise, and Justice Hilton also with a rushing touchdown to make it a 3-score game. Ethan Amix, the star of that first half, with 15 carries, 170 yards, and those 2 touchdowns. So the Wolves have been getting it done on the ground, much like they have all season long. As you see, the West Ridge Band is getting ready to perform. Leslie got a chance to talk earlier with Chris Smithson, one of the directors here of the bands, and mentioned that tonight West Ridge is going to get an opportunity to sort of present their entire halftime show, and we will get to see that here, right here on Gridiron Game Day at halftime. Thanks for tuning in. Let's throw it to the field and enjoy the performance here from the West Ridge Band.
The West Ridge Band is under the field leadership of Zach Sawyers, Levi Johnson, and Valeria Cannell. The 2025 West Ridge Band staff includes Nick Ruth, Chris Smithson, Dylan Renner, Braden Carr, Luke Fox, Kyle Jones, Sierra Stratton, Alex McMurray, Hannah Kessner, Anna Stacy, Candace Mitchell, Jason Luttrell, and Lawrence Rucker. This year's show is titled Chasing Sunshine. The show is designed, composed, and arranged by Shane Waltney, CJ Barrow, Michael Miller, and Alec Lubin. Soloists are Ty Crow and Garner Shelton. Zach Sawyers, Levi Johnson, Valeria Cannell. Is the West Ridge Band ready? Westridge Band, you may begin your performance. Ladies and gentlemen, the Westridge High School Marching Band.
What an amazing performance from the Westridge High School Band. Now it is time for one of my favorite segments, the Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week. And Hope got a chance earlier this week to take that interview. So let's take that away.
I'm here with this week's Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week, Hayden Music. Hayden, thank you so much for being here. So first off, what all are you involved in here at Westridge?
Right now I'm involved in football. I also do track. I'm in National Honor Society, HOSA, and Unified Champions.
Awesome. So I know you mentioned you're on the football team and you're the captain too. So I know you have the playoffs coming up. So being a team captain, what does that kind of mean to you and what do you do for the team?
For me, mainly as a captain, I like to keep everyone on the same page when we're on the field. And whenever things don't go the right way, try to keep them on task, knowing that we can win and we can overcome what's going on.
That's great. Well, I'm sure you're a great mentor to everybody on the team. So you also mentioned that you're on the track team and you'll have track season coming up here before we know it. So what all events do you participate in track?
So for the school, I do shot and discus, and then I also do it for the Copperheads, and I do shot, discus, and weight throw.
Awesome. Okay. So I know you're busy with a lot of sports, but then I know you're also like big into academics as well. You've got a 4.25 GPA. So how do you kind of balance your academics and sports and everything else that you have going on?
So right now I have a little free time in between. I have AP seminar, so it's just a singleton class. So I have a little period, so like 45 minutes I can do some of my work in there. But then I also have a dual enrollment class, so it's online. So whenever I get done with that, I can also do it just in my free time.
Oh, that's great that you can figure it all out and get it done. And then I know you also mentioned that you are a part of Unified Champions. What is that?
So that's when we come together with the sped class and we do events or we'll just do little things like homecoming. We'll get together as a group and do something. And then right now I can't do it, but later in the season when I don't have football, we can go do little things. I think it's on Tuesdays, and it's like play pickleball or something like that.
Oh, that's really fun. It's a good way to get involved with everything. So I know you're going to be a senior next year. Do you know what your plans are after high school yet, or what you want to do?
So hopefully what I'm planning on is I get a scholarship in track somewhere close around here, and then go into PT school.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking some time here to be with us. I know you're going to do great things, and congratulations on being this week's Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week.
Another fun little tidbit coming out of that segment, Hayden's cousin is Heath Miller, who is a former professional football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, was on the team that won 2 Super Bowls. So pretty awesome to see, to know that. I also want to thank Cheryl Gray for photography that we used in that segment. Now, switching gears a little bit, got a couple more interviews to do. I've got Dylan and Jonathan here with me, and they are band directors at our middle schools that feed into Westridge. You are at Sullivan Heights. Let's talk about how at the middle school level you're really prepping the students for the high school level.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the middle school level, we are trying to ensure that they have a good basis of music and understanding the foundations and the building blocks of how music is built. And we also want to build a structure where they learn not just music, but also leadership and discipline and all the great things that come into an organization.
And then at the middle school level, you know, he mentioned those leadership skills because it's more than just band and the music. It really is building the character of those students.
Absolutely. We are building some fantastic leadership going into the high school and even beyond. We have students every year that get scholarships, lead them into college and into professions in music and other things.
And it really is building those foundational skills because everything, you know, feeds to what's next. So those foundational skills really are at the core of what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yes, they are. And without that, I don't think this program could be as awesome as it is. Not to pat our own backs or anything, but it really takes a structured, disciplined group of kids to do something as awesome as they do.
Absolutely. Thank you all for stopping by here tonight and speaking with us for just a few moments.
Thank you, Leslie, for all those interviews and such at halftime. 21-0, our score. Westridge leading Morristown East. Let's look back at how the first half unfolded and how the Wolves were able to get that 21-0 victory, or lead in the first half, I should say. Here's the first touchdown, none other than Ethan Amos.
Yeah, and we've just seen a great effort tonight out of this Wolves offensive line as they've been getting good push and they're down blocking all night long.
Hilton on the second one with the big block from Mack there. And then watch again here as Amix goes down, or does he? Gets up and runs the rest of the way to the end zone for the third touchdown of the night for Westridge.
It only matters what's called on the field, Chris.
Can't overturn it now, can you? Not only the 3 touchdowns there for Westridge, but we saw a lot of turnovers there in that first
pretty sloppy
quarter.
Half, really.
Yeah, 2 interceptions for this Westridge defense, but then they proceeded to fumble it right back to Morristown East. So the Hurricanes will kick off for the first time as Uriel Guzman, a low liner. This is Jackson Price on the return. And the ball's on the ground. Oh, they say he's down. Wow. So that ball kind of poking around there. Speaking of the fumbles from the first half, here's some of the numbers from the first half. And you see this has become a common sight for Westridge. Lots of rushing yards, not so much on the passing, but when it works, it works.
Yeah, and we saw sort of the plan right there to keep Hilton out of harm's way. Only rushed the ball 2 times, did get 2 touchdowns. Chris, for what it's worth, and I know they're down 21-0, I will say I think Mo East has played very hard in that first half.
Certainly. Here's Hilton on a keeper, his 3rd rush of the night. This Westridge offense is just so much better when you've got both those guys running the football. I get why they don't want to put Hilton in harm's way, though.
Oh, certainly. Well, it looked a little scary right there. Amix ran up the legs of Thornton. I've seen many an offensive lineman not get up from that. Fortunately, he popped right back up.
Officials sending off Lunsford there for Morristown East as Andrew Parsons comes in to replace him. 2nd and short. Amix again, and he does have enough for the first down. It seems, Ron, that Morristown East is really putting a lot of pressure right up there in the A-gaps, trying to stop Amix.
Yeah, and you know, this is really just power football for the Wolves, right? I mean, this is nothing fancy. Boy, what kind of caught my eyes right there was how high that football was. Get a second hand on that ball right there when you've got that much contact.
Amix again, breaks loose. Can they catch him? Not this time. Ethan Amix, touchdown number 3 of the night as he continues to just pile up the numbers here in his senior year. Give him now 16 touchdowns on the year.
And I think for the night, Chris, if I'm correct, puts him over 200 yards for the night as well, does it not?
Up to 229.
Wow. Have yourself a night. Welcome back to the Wolves after that little break you took. And he looks energetic, and he looks like he's trying to prove a point right now, too.
And you know what Coach Hilton told us was he didn't just rest on his laurels while he couldn't play, as the extra point is good. He said Amix played on the scout team, even though he couldn't play, played on the scout team to help that defense get prepared for Mo West. All right, we will be back right after this as you take another look at Ethan Amix, his 3rd touchdown run of the night. All Wolves here from the Ridge.
For 80 25 years, United Southeast Federal Credit Union has proudly served our neighbors in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. We're more than a financial institution, we're part of the community. With 6 convenient branches and a team dedicated to your financial well-being, we're here to help you grow, save, and thrive. On the go, our mobile app and online banking make managing your money easy. United Southeast Federal Credit Union, helping our members live better lives.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to a modified booth cam, if you will, here tonight from Westridge as you zoom out. Kind of a unique setup here at the Ridge as Ron to my right, Travis on stats to my left, kind of under the tent here at Westridge, enjoying the ball game, 28-0. Westridge out in front as the Wolves are kicking it off to Morristown East, who were looking for their first points of the night. Short kickoff fumbled here by Wyatt. And
a sea of blue.
Yeah. Before we went to break, Ron, you were wanting to talk about
Well, I got up and stretched my legs during the half, and I had an opportunity to meet Amex's dad, Shane. And he came up and said, hey, I appreciate the broadcast, you know, really appreciate what you guys can do. I've said several times, I would not want to tackle Ethan Amex. I think I'd rather tackle Ethan Amex than Ethan's dad, Shane.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I see where he gets it from, man. No, it wouldn't be good. He'd leave a mark, I'll tell you that much.
So he gets it honest then.
Oh, yes.
First down handoff. Not much room. We've seen quite a few carries from Braden Smith, and in on that tackle was Tanner Mims.
Yeah, it was great penetration right there. And, you know, you got an opportunity here if you're this defensive line. We've talked about them a lot tonight, some youth on that line. Here's an opportunity for the Wolves in that line to just sort of take over.
2nd and 11. Another pitch to Smith. Breaks free for a few yards, but again, Westridge closes it quick. Sam Perry in the area, as well as Jacob Bledsoe, who's out there.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, Chris, I'm a little bit surprised in you that you've not given us an update from Sevier County right now.
You want me to?
Yes.
All right. Here's the update. Tennessee High playing Sevier County tonight. Sevier County, the #3 team in the state in Class 5, 7-7 at halftime. And in fact, it could have been a Tennessee High lead.
Yes,
they got stopped at the 1
foot line.
So Tennessee High hanging tough with one of the top teams in the state tonight. Quick throw on 3rd down, complete, but just shy of the 1st down.
Chris, one thing I've noticed about these screens for Morristown East, it's a little bit puzzling to me, particularly since they're a younger team, is it seems as though when they set these screens up, there's no blockers in front. Watch this. I mean, I understand the separation, but if you had one more blocker up there, right?
And now you get into a situation where you're down 4 scores and you're looking at going on 4th down.
Yep.
Oh, maybe not. Wipe that. Morristown East going to kick this away here.
Call this max protect right here. And they needed it too, by the way.
Good high punt. This is caught out of the air by Jackson Price, and he's wrestled down quickly. Nice tackle there by Connor Hanshaw. All right, it's time for our Jersey Mike's profile from store owner David Wampler. Kaylee Greer loves to read, loves the Harry Potter books, mainly nonfiction. A super fun and bubbly personality. She loves to be outside and around nature and is the model employee. I wish we had more energetic, dependable, and outgoing kids just like her. So congrats to Kaylee Greer for the Jersey Mike's profile, a senior here at Westridge. Ethan Amex on the carry, and he just gave a pop on his way to about 8 or 9 yards.
Hayden Music right out there leading the way as he's done a good part of the night.
If you stepped away at halftime and you missed the interview with Hayden Music, who was our Burke Powers and Hardy Student of the Week. Can this kid get any more impressive?
No, that is one impressive kid right there, just on and off the field.
Holt is going to bring this one back, but in case you missed it, not only is Hayden a force on the football field, but also in track and field and a GPA north of 4.0. There are a lot of colleges that are going to be loving that kid right there.
Yeah, that's what you call low risk, high reward right there.
First and 20 after the holding. That was Hilton on the carry. Sometimes with these triple option offenses, it leaves us guessing at times.
Yeah. You know, really tonight, I think it's really been a very simple kind of game plan. You see Icino right there come up a little bit, a little limping right there, but seems to be okay. But I think it's been a very designed, very simple, we're going to take our bigs and run at your bigs because we think our bigs are better.
Brody Fields on the handoff. Morristown East has done a nice job here, at least on this drive. And now you see, you're in this 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 15. This is what Morristown East wants Westridge in. 3rd and 15. We still haven't seen Westridge put it in the air, though they say, oh, and got him.
Just a little offside.
It's Cade Henson trying to get an early start there.
Well, that'll make that 3rd down a little bit easier. Still be looking at 3rd and 10.
The 3rd down 10 now. He's been impressive tonight. He was our player to watch. He thought he just timed it up. Or maybe he just wanted to play offense. I'm not sure. 3rd down 10. Hilton does look to throw. Lofts one up and incomplete, but a barrage of flags coming in.
Yeah, and for Morristown East, that's Terry Pearson right there, and he just simply ran right through him, never turned his head around. And you know, Chris, we've talked about this before. If you are a corner, you're in the secondary, you've got at some point in time, get that head around, at least pretend like you're looking at the football.
All right, watch this hit on Hilton there. That's Lunsford. Yeah, pretty easy call there from all angles. And I think you see why Westridge is not necessarily going to put it in the air a lot.
Yeah, and when Hilton got hit right there, he kind of got cushioned by the player, but the first thing he did was he reached down and grabbed for that ankle. That tells you a lot.
He makes a few tough yards, as he has been the guy. Oh, hot mic. We're having issues with our microphones tonight from the refs. 2nd down and 8. And again, a handoff to Amix. Just a few yards at a time, but what makes this Westridge offense so dangerous is the fact that they can kind of lull you to sleep with those 2-yard carries, 3-yard carries, then you pop one.
Yeah, and if you ever want to see what power football, power running, the concept of it looks like, you can see a picture of Westridge, because this is what they're doing right now. It's just that inside zone running.
Or flags, and that's a penalty you're going to want back.
Defense, 5-yard penalty. Down there makes 3rd. Be a 1st down. 1st down.
So that's enough for a 1st down for Westridge. They are marching towards the red zone again. Give to Fields, breaks free. And Fields thrown down around the 11 as another tackle there. That was Braden Smith. Misdirection that time from Fields. And if you sell out for Amix, Westridge will start popping you with some of the other backs as well. First down. Just outside the 10 is Amix. Now inside the 5. Remember, he's got 3 touchdowns already. And now Westridge wants to move fast as they've got it right up near the goal line here. They've got it at the 3. Here comes the snap. And a push towards the end zone. Touchdown Westridge. Justice Hilton into the end zone. Little quick deception there as Hilton picks up his 2nd score of the night, and Westridge widens the lead.
Well, Chris, you had him as your player of the week, and I'll tell you, Sam Perry has done well.
Just keeps, just as you alluded to, Ron, just the sea of blue pushing towards that blue end zone. Extra point, up and good. Westridge now opens it up 35-0. 5 touchdowns tonight, all on the ground. And that now makes 32 rushing touchdowns tonight, or 32 rushing touchdowns on the season for the Wolves. We'll be right back here from Westridge.
Bristol, Tennessee Essential Services is your hometown provider of electric, internet, telephone, and cable television services. With our robust fiber optic network, we offer internet speeds of 10 gigabits per second to every home and business in our service area. Our mission is to enrich our community while striving to make tomorrow better than today. BTES, your trusted resource for energy and connectivity.
Westridge up big here from Blumpville on the campus of Westridge High School, 35-0. Has 5 touchdowns on the ground and 3 by Ethan Amix, 2 by Justice Hilton. As the rushing game continues to pay dividends for the Wolves as they are well on their way to a 6th win of the season with over 300 now rushing yards in the game.
You know, Chris, it won't show up in the box score tomorrow, but boy, Perry has been impressive tonight. Some of those lead box, sort of just that pivot and then hitting the hole real hard. 3 of those runs right there to set up that touchdown were really aided by his blocking.
Another return here from Morristown East. Braden Smith just nowhere to go. Good open field tackle by Dayton Brown, who's played really well tonight as well.
Yes, called his name out a lot now too. Now with that last touchdown, of course, Chris, we've now gone into continuous clock. Yeah, once again, coming up in the 4th quarter, the Eddie's Trophies Player of the Game. Once again, to be a Westridge player. Stay tuned with us as we name that Player of the Game. And Chris and I were just talking about that. There's several Wolves tonight that we could name.
Valentine keeps a little room on that left side as he ducks out of bounds. Yep, you might say that trying to pick some of the players of the game each week might be one of the toughest things we have to do, but
yeah,
sheesh.
Of course, there'd be an obvious one tonight, wouldn't there, Chris?
There would. I think you just saw his stats pop up there on our score. Oh, yeah, look at those numbers. My goodness. Quick throw. Caught by Johnson, but wrestled down. How about Goliath Arp in there on the tackle?
Yeah, and he did exactly what you're supposed to do in that position, and that is you watch him come up and he breaks down. He's not out of control. He takes a moment. You'll see it. Well, no, I guess you won't. Well, yeah, you will. Watch this. Take yourself a moment, access, and then drive the legs through. Good form tackling right there, Chris.
Wait for your buddies to come help finish it off. Right?
Exactly.
third down here from Morristown East. Kind of funky there, but the play continues on. And intercepted by the Wolves. That's Braylon Vance with his third pick of the year.
And Chris, that is unbelievable. When we go back to watch that replay, watch the fingertips on this kid as he's somehow able to get that in. Steelers fan, I'm telling you, looked like Troy Polamalu there for a second.
Oh boy. Let's see it. Oh,
look at that.
The concentration. You know what? We've been here 3 games this year. I'm pretty sure that Braylon Vance has an interception in each of those games.
I think you're right.
Every time we come here, he gets an interception.
Yep. You know, Chris, when you go Sunday and you have those meetings and you watch that film, as a player, you just sit there, right? And you wait for that moment to come up. And then the grin comes.
West Ridge. First of the half.
You know, you mentioned the whole Troy Polamalu thing. I was kind of thinking Eric Berry.
There's another one. Oh, yeah, Tennessee player.
There's an interception by Eric Berry that's sticking out in my mind that looked like. Okay, here's some scores. Elizabethton up big on Sullivan East. We told you about the Tennessee High Sevier County game. Knotted up at halftime. Jefferson County Powell, that's 2 of the top teams in Northeast Tennessee going at it. Really good game. And that Morristown West Daniel Boone game means a lot in Region 1 5A.
Yeah, very well. It's probably an elimination game. And I'd make the argument right now in Region 2, Powell may be the very best team.
I believe Powell is, well, they're not the #1 team in Class 5. Sevier County was for a while.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And
yes.
now they're 3rd.
No. Sevier County's Region 1.
Oh, you're talking about Region 2.
Yes, Region 2.
I gotcha. Yes. First down carry here for Jax Brown. So 2nd down for Westridge as they're trying to find the end zone. Another give. This time it is Jax Brown. And you got to start wondering, Ron, with the running clock up 35-0, 2 big games coming up for Westridge here in the next 2 weeks. Do you start resting some guys in this 4th quarter?
Yeah, probably so. I would agree with that.
Third down 3. Nice run by Brown, and he goes across the first down line. So another first down for the Wolves, just outside the 20. Hilton still the quarterback. Amick's getting a breather. Hilton on the keep and tackled inside the red zone. And they don't have to snap it again if they don't want to as we get ready to head to the 4th. Another look. We haven't seen Hilton run the ball a whole lot. We know he's nursing the injury. If you look close, you can see that black brace on his left ankle there.
Chris, one person I want to bring your attention to is number 51, Martinez. He's played very well tonight in that tackle spot, filling in for Honor, right, but he has looked very solid. The last play, I was kind of almost wanting to highlight that because he kicked out the tackle and then shot up to the linebacker, the 2nd level. He's playing well.
Filling in for Arnold at right tackle. All right, Leslie's got some interviews down on the sideline.
Thanks so much, guys. We are closing out tonight's game with the drum majors here at Westridge High School. I have Levi with me. Tell me, for those who don't know, what is a drum major?
A drum major is the person in the front or back of the field that people watch to keep time. We move our hands to give them where the beat is. They watch that, hopefully, and play with us throughout the show. And we give them cues and stuff to make sure they know where they are in the show. And we also lead the band off the field, make sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to do, make sure everybody's ready to play, and that type of stuff.
And it's not just on the field. I've watched them lead the band over here on the sidelines as you're doing the pep, leading the crowd and the cheerleaders and the dance team. So what does it take to be a drum major? How do you get this position?
Well, it's kind of starts as soon as you step foot in the band room. Your first day as a freshman, they're watching you. Since it's a leadership position, they're watching what you do, how you treat others, and then you take a series of classes, interviews, stuff like that, and then they select you as drum major, hopefully.
Well, it sounds like a really great position. Before we came on air, we were talking about how different the two of them are. If you see them on the sidelines, they're like a mullet. That's what I've been told. Business in the front, party in the back. This guy's super peppy. Levi is just straight and narrow. He gets it done. But it's a good combination. Thank you all so much. We'll be back.
Hey, the drum major is a very important role. I was not a drum major in high school, but I do a little bit of choir directing at church. And yes, I felt that pain when the drum major said, if the band members will watch me. I know exactly how that goes. All right.
I've learned all kinds of band things this year. I didn't know what a mellophone was for the longest time.
I know. You're welcome for that, by the way. First down. Goliath Arp is the new quarterback in the game for Westridge as he piles forward for a few.
Well, Chris, you talked about getting some reserves in, and I think if you were going to start, you would probably start with him, right? There's no sense in leaving him out in this type of game.
Speaking of the band, the drum line getting the student section pumped up. Those drum lines, they got a lot of pride in themselves, man. They work hard. High above there on second down. Arp. Jax Brown as he burrows forward inside the 5.
Again, Martinez there taking care of his initial block and shooting up the field, looking at that linebacker.
Third down. Goliath Arp keeps and is wrestled down. This might be a good chance for a field goal attempt, Ron.
Yeah. Wow, have you seen how many field goals have we had out of Westridge?
I believe it's just one.
Okay.
Doesn't look like they're running the kicker on, however.
Great job right there by Trevor Frost, who made that tackle. Just a freshman, by the way. Morristown East.
Fourth down and goal. Ball on the ground. Jax Brown picks it up but can't do anything with it as they will turn it over inside the 5. So, Ron, I'm going to ask you, 35-0 game. I know we talked about field goal. Is there anything that comes to mind there of just not wanting to go for points, like not going for a kick there in terms of sportsmanship? How are you playing that?
Well, you know, I'm kind of torn right there, Chris. You know, I've shared on this before. I feel like you have got to take those opportunities to get your kicker on the field. We just watched a moment ago, because you know I've been peeking at that Tennessee High Sevier County game. They actually marched out their kicker. Like I said, some of those opportunities you've got to take advantage of right there, because you never know when it might come down to a kick.
First down carry that time for B.J. Sloan as Morristown East early in the game had put a couple of nice drives together, but just couldn't get the ball in the end zone. And now, obviously, running out of time here as Westridge is in full control. As a reminder, this game very important to the playoff seeding in Region 1 6A. Sloan hit by Smith in the backfield and pushed backwards.
Ron Smith has had a really good night tonight. I mean, he's just been solid. His pursuit and angles has been solid all night long.
There's nowhere to run.
No.
How about this Westridge defense? Looking like if they can keep Morristown East off the board, it would be their first shutout of the season.
Chris, my instincts kind of tell me when you go and look at this game in the newspaper, you're going to think, okay, Morristown, Westridge had an easy game tonight. There's going to be some things that the coaching staff here for Westridge look back on and want to improve. We'll see what the call is right here.
Like you had a man in the area
there. I was kind of thinking maybe, but I think you're right. You had some Wolves stick their hands up looking for that safety, but the cameraman was wide open. I don't know if you saw that or not.
There were a few guys on the sideline that were wide open. In fact, one of them had a one-handed catch on that throw.
I saw that, right?
Always got to be ready.
Yeah, his years of eligibility are probably up.
Boy, fake punt. Oh, incomplete as Tucker Wyatt was looking for Braden Smith. At this point, why not, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, though, Chris, if you're the offensive coordinator for the Cyclones and you draw that up and execute it, you just have to take a deep breath right there and go, oh.
Now, if Westridge can hold Morristown East off the board, this would be their first shutout since last year against West Green, 58-0 here at home. But it would only be the third shutout in Westridge history. Of course, Westridge is a fairly young school, of course. Their first shutout in history, 23-0 victory over Morristown East.
What year was that, Chris? Was that first year?
2021.
That's a good team right there. I believe they finished 10-2.
Let's test our roster here. Jolin Harvey, freshman quarterback, wearing number 28 in the game.
Second.
We get a timeout here from the Wolves to stop the clock. So 5:39 to go. You talk about getting some backups in. Well,
yeah, I've not seen too many 28s on the field in the quarterback position.
All right, so here's the schedule. There seems to be a pattern if you're a Westridge fan. Win, win, loss, win, win, loss, win, win, and they're hoping they can avert that next week at Science Hill. 2 huge games for Westridge, and we got to say it. If Westridge can beat Science Hill and Jeff County in back-to-back weeks, they may just finish second and get a home playoff game.
I will say this, in the way they run the football and how physical they are up front, I give Westridge a really good shot of going into Science Hill and pulling that upset. It would not surprise me at all.
All right, get your rosters out, folks. You got Bledsoe, the back. Out wide at receiver, you've got Nate Roten and Sam Bittinger. And this is Jolin Harvey under center. He keeps. And a positive run there on 1st and goal.
Now, Chris, we've got to give some love to some of these offensive linemen in here right now as well. Alex Van Slant is in, and I believe Bo Painter is in right now as well for Westridge.
You know, there are some publications here locally that will do predictions for games around the area, and saw a lot of similar scores, 35-0, 35-7 in this game. And you just have to realize with the way Westridge runs the ball, say that 3 times fast, just the clock just bleeds on you.
Oh, yeah.
Harvey pushing towards the end zone, and he's a yard shy.
Good leg drive right there by that young man. You know, just looking at Alex Van Slant, by the way, a freshman, 6'3", 250 pounds.
Yeah, some of the future Westridge Wolves here getting some instruction from the sideline.
I don't know that I want to feed that kid. That could about bankrupt you. Just a freshman, 6'3", 250. That'll put a dent in the grocery bill.
Let's see if Harvey can get in the end zone.
Cooper Nelson, also a freshman. Boy, this is a predominantly freshman line right here for the Wolves.
And I think delay of game.
Prior snap, delay of game, number 28, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
Here's a good look at it on the United Southeast Federal Credit Union replay, and just ran out of time.
Call out Grayson Ferguson's name as well in the slot right now.
Harvey handoff. That's Jacob Bledsoe. He's a senior. Seen him quite a bit on the defensive side at linebacker. They've handed him the ball a couple times this year, and maybe hand it to him one more time.
Chris, Sevier County midway in the third quarter has taken a 14-7 lead over Tennessee High.
4th and goal. Harvey hands off Bledsoe, trying to get in the end zone and shoved backwards.
Hey, yeah.
All right, so shoved backwards there. And again, the clock winding down with the running clock just about 2 minutes or so left. So Westridge is going to move to 6-2, grab that first region win of the year. And pretty much secure a spot in the playoffs with a couple games left to determine their seeding. Big time run though, BJ Sloan. Boy, he seems hard to tackle.
Oh yeah, he's a handful. Chris, you got a lot of juniors and some seniors still in this game for Morristown East, going up against some freshmen right now. Our Eddie's Trophies player of the game tonight, number 86, LaRon Smith. And Chris, at points and times very early and really throughout the first half, defensively, he just sort of stood up and shone tonight. And so our Eddie's Trophies player of the game tonight, LaRon Smith, defensive end.
BJ Johnson had a nice catch and run there for Morristown East. They're trying to get on the board here.
Yes, they are.
And preserve or try to get rid of that shutout and goose egg on the scoreboard. And yes, a great game for LaRon Smith. It felt like he was in the backfield all night.
Yes.
Causing havoc. Valentine on the move and out of bounds to stop the clock. Well, I guess it doesn't stop the clock in a running clock scenario, does it?
No. As we keep looking at our roster right there, pressure provided by Keithan Ashworth, the junior. Good opportunity, Chris, for us just to call out some names of kids that really don't often get their name called out.
And of course, this being our last game here at Westridge this year.
Also call out Jax Brown. You can see him right there.
Pass complete to Nathan Collier, who runs forward again. Oh, they're going to stop the clock.
No, the sophomore Orlando Mack is still in the game, though.
Oh, they're not going to stop the clock. Okay.
This may.
Yeah, ticking down. Maybe one last snap here. Valentine. Here comes the home run ball. Oh, maybe not. Sack to end it as Westridge. That's your boy, Keithan Ashworth, with the sack to end it in reserve duty as Westridge holds on to earn their first shutout of the season. It's win number 6 for the Wolves, and they have pretty much locked up a spot in the playoffs, coming up later in November. as the Wolves now pick up their 6th win of the season. And that is the first time that Westridge has won 6 regular season games since all the way back in 2021, that first season of Westridge High School. So Westridge continues to put together a nice year, and they've still got a lot to play for coming up in these final 2 weeks. 35-0, Westridge wins it. We will take a break and have more here post-game from Westridge High School on Gridiron Game Day.
The places we call work and home are starting to look more and more alike. When you could live and work anywhere, why not make it somewhere extraordinary, where the air is fresher, your paycheck goes further, and at up to 10 gigabits per second, the internet is some of the fastest in the country. Whether you need to be connected or get reconnected, Bristol is ready. Start your next chapter at bristolisready.com.
You may know BTES's employees from here and here, but we are also here and there and also over there. We are your neighbors, your friends, your community, and your trusted resource for energy and connectivity. We are BTES.
Back here at Westridge, the Wolves get a shutout 35-0 over the Hurricanes, and Leslie has tracked down the winning coach.
Yes, I have, Coach. This is your first shutout of the season. How does that feel?
It's great. You know, these guys work so hard defensively, and for the backups to come in and be able to hold them out, you know, it's exciting, and we're proud of all of them.
And now into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a big step, you know. So these seniors, we talked about it, they extended their season at least one more game. That's always one of our goals, getting in the playoffs. So big time for us right there.
And we did see your son on the field tonight, even though he had been battling an injury.
Yeah, Dr. Carver, Ron Bernard, Eric Jones, all those guys helped rehab him. Justice sucked it up a little bit, toughened it out, and glad to have him out here.
Yeah, he played a great game tonight, as well as Amex. Another great game here on the field. When we were here last time, we talked about him and the yardage. I mean, it's just incredible.
Play calling's a whole lot easier when one's out there. Yeah, he had a great game tonight, continued a great season, probably went over 1,000 yards for the season tonight rushing, so very proud of him and glad the way he responded coming back.
Over 1,000. I just got confirmation in my ear. 234 yards tonight.
Wow. Hey, if he's getting 234, our odds are good, so hopefully we'll keep that up.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best in the playoffs. We have really enjoyed being here this season. Thank you so much for always giving us a few minutes of your time.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
You heard it there, happy head coach.
Yep.
This Westridge team, we've been here 3 times, and they've won all 3 games that we've broadcasted. So, you know, hey, Westridge, you might want to have us back a little more often. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can see Coach's kid right there. Good win tonight. I thought they did a pretty good job getting him involved in the offense, but at the same time sort of protecting him tonight. The number of carries not indicative of what we typically see out of him.
Just a sophomore. The future is bright for number 2 right there in blue. Let's take a look at our highlights as a reminder of how this one went for Westridge, and it's a lot of number 1, as Hilton alluded to. Ethan Amick's got us started.
Great play tonight with the offensive line. Just a push tonight. Very impressive as power football is on display by the Wolves.
Justice Hilton found his first touchdown of the day. And then this was the fun one as Amix goes down and spins off the defender and hits pay dirt.
Yep. Good alert job by him. Didn't hear the whistle, just keep running.
And then another long run for Amix. Boy, is he the definition of a home run threat.
Yeah, you know, very easily he could have been our player of the game, right? But when you pitch a shutout, you kind of got to give some love to the defense. So
Westridge able to get more of the same. You know what you're going to get when you're talking about this West Ridge team. 27 touchdowns on the season. They got 5 more tonight, so now 32 touchdowns offensively, all of them rushing. Still no passing touchdowns, and they're 6-2.
Yeah, how nice is it as a sophomore quarterback to make that pivot turn and find Amix ready to take the ball?
I could hand off to him probably. 362 on the ground for the Wolves tonight. No passes needed as some early turnovers, but the Wolves cleaned it up after that first quarter and held on for a big win tonight. The Wolves are now 6-2, and they've locked up a spot in the playoffs. Tonight's game airs again tomorrow at 11 a.m. and all week long on BTES Power 7, and stream it on our YouTube page at BTES Videos. For myself, Chris Mangrum, he's Ron Marvel, Travis Dingus on stats, the entire BTES Power 7 team. Thanks for tuning in. This has been a presentation of BTES, your trusted resource for energy and connectivity. Have a great night, everybody.